Rule number 85. A causal cum clause and concessive cum clause both take verbs in the subjunctive mood. Rules 83 and 84 have discussed cum clauses, a situation where cum means when and can take the indicative mood, like in cum haec gerebantur apud te eram, when these things were going on, I was with you, which shows the time of the main clause, or it can take the subjunctive mood, as in poeta, cum ex Graecia reverteretur in morbum incidit. The poet, when he was returning from Greece, got sick or fell ill. Here, we're giving the background for the poet's illness, focusing on the circumstances accompanying the main clause. In both situations, cum is best translated when, although whenever, while, and after also work depending on the situation. But there are two other types of cum clauses, one with causal force, so we would translate cum as since or because instead of when, and one with concessive or adversative force, so cum showing something that should have prevented the main clause from happening, but didn't, and we translate cum as although. So let's look at a causal cum clause first. Turno fugiendum erat, cum par Aeneae non esset. Turnus, since he was not equal to Aeneas, had to flee. Our cum clause here, with the imperfect subjunctive, shows the reason why Turnus had to flee, and so since works better here than when. And from Caesar, id difficula non est, cum tantum equitatu valeamus. This is not hard, since we are so strong with our cavalry. Since works best here because our cum clause is giving us the reason for the main clause, the reason why this isn't difficult. Or from Cicero's In Catilinam, quae cum ita sint, Catilina, perge quo coipisti. Since these things are so, go to where you have started. In addition, we have concessive or adversative uses where cum is best translated with although, or while, but with a specific sense. A concessive cum clause is often accompanied by a tamen, meaning still or nevertheless in the main clause. Turnus cum fortissime pugnaret, tamen victus est. Turnus, although he was fighting very bravely, nevertheless was defeated. Tamen clues us in on the fact that this is a concessive cum clause, and the bravery of Turnus should have resulted in his victory, but didn't. Still, nevertheless, he was defeated. Here's another one from Caesar. Cum primi ordines concidissent, tamen acerrime reliqui resistebant. Although the first ranks had fallen, the rest still resisted fiercely. With the inclusion of the tamen, you can see how the cum clause represents an action that logically is in opposition to the main clause. The defeat of the first ranks should have hurt the morale of everyone else, but it didn't. And so we have traditionally 4 different types of cum clauses. Cum with a verb in the indicative mood that shows the precise time when the main clause happens, and 3 with a subjunctive mood, one showing the general circumstances surrounding the main action, another showing the cause for the main action, and the third which shows an action that should have prevented the main clause from happening, but didn't. Pay attention to the mood of the verb in the cum clause. If it's in the indicative mood, you can almost always get by with translating cum as when. If it's in the subjunctive, well, when will work most of the time, but since, if the cum clause seems to give the cause of the main clause, and if you see a tamen in the main clause, or if the logic between the two just doesn't quite work, the translation of the cum can be although. So rule number 85, a causal cum clause and concessive cum clause both take verbs in the subjunctive mood.